What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Randomz. It's your boy Ant. And what's your name?
Khairaah.
All right. Where you from?
I'm from Newark.
Nope. Okay. Okay. And what do you do, young lady?
I do a lot of things. Most recently, I've been involved with adults with developmental disabilities. So I'm one of the regional managers for a company that provides services for them in home and out in the community. Um, I've been doing that now. I've been working in this field for like 8 years now. I really love it. I like doing that. I like working with adults. I also like working with children. But I find my passion in working with people in general with developmental disabilities. That's a passion of mine.
Okay. Definitely. I definitely see that. That's definitely rewarding. What would you call that position? Is that a DSP?
So the people that I staff are direct support.
Okay.
But what I do is I like manage all the cases for the North region.
Oh, okay. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. And then I know it's such a rewarding feeling when you know that you helped and directly touched a family that's in need,
Right.
and they need that support. You
Yeah.
know?
I mean, a lot of my families have been dealing with dis- children with disabilities. It comes to them in many different ways, and a lot of them just need someone who could just support them. So a lot of what I do is a lot of therapeutic work, just by talking to them and just encouraging them. And a lot of times they can see the light just by having someone who can pull them into it. And a lot of the work that we do is just about providing guidance. And I think that a lot of families feel helpless, like they don't feel like the services are out here. They don't feel like there's people that understand. So a lot of what I do of just going to the homes and speaking with the families and trying to find services and supports for them, they really appreciate it because it's like they don't get it that often. Especially when people with developmental disabilities turn 21,
Mm-hmm.
the services out here are so scarce that it's like it's really sad actually to see. When your children when they're in school, they get services at school, they get supports at school, but when they transition into adulthood, those services basically stop. And it's just a matter of like trying to find that support in the community, and they gotta really advocate for themselves. So having someone like me who's gonna come in and support them, I see a lot of reward from it.
That's beautiful. That's definitely a beautiful thing. So, do you have any other projects that you're working on though?
So just recently, my family, we've been working on this kidpreneur. What we've been trying to do is basically encourage children who want to be entrepreneurs. So we have it started with my son. He wanted to sell ices, and that was his passion. He wanted to do that so bad. So we started with him, and he got excited about it. And so what we then did was try to get his friends and his cousins to see what they wanted to sell, and it's become bigger than I ever expected it to be. But it's pretty cool to see. We started off with age groups of 3 to 12, and they've just been owning it and excited about it and doing different things like that. My son actually had a fundraiser, and people donated to him, and he was able to go down to Newark Penn Station and give out free ices. And that was just something that he was so passionate about, because it was people gave to him and he wanted to do something and give back to the community. And for me to see that in a 5-year-old, it was something phenomenal. So that's recently what we've been doing. And we're trying to figure out a way to make it even bigger, to try to include preteens and do more things like that. I think that in this time with the world and everything, the pandemic that's going on, it's been very important to show people how they can make their own money.
Right.
And I think that starting with the children, getting them excited and invested in something and getting them out of the house, they've been able to pour that back into their parents and show them that even through a pandemic, we can make money, we can do our own thing. And I think it's been rewarding for us, but it's also been enlightening for the kids to just be I can do this, and I can eventually I want to be an astronaut, but I'll start off with selling popcorn. They have their own little way of doing things, and how they see it as entrepreneurship, and they own it, and it's exciting to work with them. So
That's awesome. That's definitely awesome, especially getting the kids involved.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a great thing. If people wanted to come and support that movement, where would they go? Where could they meet you and support?
So we're having an event at the beginning of next month. It's like their back to school event. So we'll have more details up about that on Facebook and on Instagram. We have people who've been donating to dollar. It's the dollar sign kids pop up shop on Cash App. People have been supporting in that way. We've been posting in the Black Owned Business group about our upcoming events. You can find us there. We'll tell you about more things that we have coming up. But what we're really trying to get the kids excited about is the back to school event. We know that back to school is going to look completely different this year, but we still want them to be equally as excited about going back to school, even though it may look different. It's still school is still important. We want to encourage them, so we're trying to come up with ways to kind of get them excited about going back to school. So
I want to ask you a question about the mommy side of the situation.
Oh, the mommy side.
Yeah, now I want to know, like, how has it been, like, doing the homeschooling with your child? How has that been?
So I've been fortunate. I will say, I think that my child is excited to learn, and I think that he's been excited to learn because we, as parents, we've kind of encouraged him that like learning happens everywhere, and that's always been our form of education for him. It's always been like wherever you're at, you can learn. You can learn in a park, you can learn in the movies, you can learn in the store, the museum, at school. Like we always take opportunities to show him new things and teach him that learning doesn't just happen from 8 to 3 at school. So that's always been something that we've instilled in him. So with the pandemic, it was just like, okay, well, I'm learning at home. And for him, it was easy. Knock on wood, because I don't know what September's going to bring, but like he was really excited about being home with his parents, and he felt like he was still learning because we made every moment teachable for him. Like we made up songs doing the dishes, we made up different activities and different things like that, just for him to like continue to learn, because it's something we've already done. But now that we were quarantined in the house, it was like forced, but it was also exciting because he enjoyed it, and having us home, it's been good. But I've definitely seen the struggles, like with my clients, being forced in the house all day long and not being able to go to their programs or their activities. I think that in mothering a lot of my clients in that way, I've seen like how they really took this pandemic really hard. And we're prepared for there to be a lot more behavioral problems and a lot more issues, because our clients can be aggressive and different things like that. So we're prepared for them to be more upset, trying to get them back into life and trying to get them back into the community. We're prepared that there's going to be a lot of pushback. But it's still changing. I think we've adjusted to this being like the new norm of like wearing masks and trying to like social distance and different things like that. But it's also that population of people with disabilities who don't understand it or can't relate to it, or it's not their normal yet. So it's difficult for them in that sense. But I know that as a parent, I have been lucky, and I know that a lot of parents in my support group and different things like that, they haven't been as lucky. So
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, I got another question. How has this year has been a crazy year. So how has the coronavirus affected you?
I think for me personally, I struggled a lot in the sense of it put me in a position to really sit with my thoughts, right? I'm a person who is always on the go. I'm always out in the community. I'm always out helping families. I'm always out just doing stuff. And I never take the time to really sit with my thoughts and sit with like where I am in my life or where I want to be or what I want to do, because I'm always pouring so much into other people. And I think that this time forced me to kind of sit with my thoughts and assess, where I'm at 28 and where I envisioned myself being, and how that wasn't, how far away I was from the actual goal of where I wanted to be. And I think that it caused a lot of stress for me personally. But I think that I had a great support system to kind of pull me out of my own, mental restrictions about like what I was doing with myself or what I was not doing. So I do appreciate my family for like really helping me out, but it took a toll on me for a little while. In the beginning it was all like, oh, we're home, everybody's home, it's cool, we're still getting paid, it's not a problem, let's just stay home. and then it became like, no, we're actually home. Like we can't we can't do anything, and it's like, for me, it just required a lot of um, reevaluation of like where I want to be and what I want to do coming out of the quarantine. So I think I'm in a much better place now, and I've set some goals for myself, and I didn't give myself that same time restriction. I think that was something that I was suffering with. Like, I need to do this before I'm 30. I think I've removed that for myself, but I still set those goals and those, things that I want to do. And now it's just about how do I get to that place.
Right, right. So, you seem like a God-fearing person. So I gotta ask you the question:
Go ahead.
Is it a religion or spirituality? What do you stand on that?
So the religion, it is a religion. But I think as a person, I'm definitely more spiritual. I think that I believe that I believe that God is everywhere. So in everything that I do, I try to give praise, and I try to be appreciative of what I have and what I don't have, and what I've experienced and what I haven't experienced. I think that for me, my relationship is personal, and I think that I can't project that onto anyone, and I can't expect and I can't have any requirements of anyone else as far as their connection with God. But I also feel like there's that important piece that your religion is sacred. You know what I mean? Your beliefs are sacred, and it has to be separate from this worldly experience that you're having, right? There has to be some level of like, I'm coming to a higher power, and I'm, paying homage, and I'm humbling myself because it's something that got me here, something that gives me breath every single day. And I think that a lot of times people don't make that separation in a sense, and they kind of just go through life not really appreciating everything that was given to us until it's taken away. And what I try to do is avoid getting to a point where things have to be taken away for me to appreciate what I have. So
that's a good standpoint. I definitely agree with you about a lot of that. I think that a lot of our relationships with God is individual.
Right.
We all have our own individual relationships with God, and I think that's a key of spirituality.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, this whole pandemic, people not being able to go to church, it's like, hard for a lot of people. I think for me, I've always been a person who just give praise right where I'm at, like in my car, like just appreciative for the fact that I have a car. When I see people I went to high school with who are walking, just simple things like that I think a lot of people take for granted, you know what I mean? Or when I lose friends, or different things like that, I thank God because it's a reason for it, everything that happens in your life that you may look at as a bad situation, or a struggle. It's a reason why you got to go through that struggle, and
Nice.
if you just keep going through it, you get out, on the other side of it. And so for me, it's just about walking through it and appreciating it through the process.
Definitely. Okay, well, with that being said, do you have a story that you would like to share with the people?
A story, about me, or
Any type of story, like a story that might be uplifting or encouraging to someone?
I think just to encourage people, I would encourage people to always do your own research. That's my
Time out. Do your own research. Yes, I want to run that back.
Do your own research. I think that for everything that I do, there's some type of purpose and there's some type of reason behind it. And I think that a lot of it comes from the research, right? So what's the success rate in certain things, right? So for my child, I look at our research different activities. What's the success rate in him learning it this way versus him learning it in a different way? What's the success rate? I'm always analyzing. Some people say I overanalyze, but I'm always looking for more information, about medicine, about food, about everything that I do. It's doing my own research gives me the power. And I think that that's a story that I want to encourage people to do their own research for everything that they do. Have a reason why and have an understanding about what it is that you're doing. So
that was a jewel right there. That was a jewel.
Mic drop.
So in closing, you want to share anything, or you want to promote anything on the way out?
Follow me. You can always follow me at KhaNatural. I do a lot of hair stuff. I do a lot of just motivational stuff. I promote. I share things. Everything. You'll keep things in the description box. I can send you my info.
Absolutely.
Just about where to follow me, where to follow, my family. We're always doing stuff. So there's always opportunity to follow us, join us, support us, and donate to our kids that we're trying to promote and doing things like that. So.
All right. It sounds good. It sounds great, actually.
Thanks.
But we're running out of daylight here. It's been a long day.
It has been, but it's been great.
It has been. Well, once again, thanks for watching. This has been another episode of Randomz, and this one was powerful. So make sure that you watch it 3 times.
3 times.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.